Imagine a world where business can scale itself limitless with the power of cloud computing, instantly scale its operation to every corner of the world, and Azure is making it possible. So today we have with us Mr. Deepak, who's expert on Azure, to talk more about Azure and give us insight on it. Welcome, Deepak.
Yeah. Hi, Dhruv. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm also good. Thanks, Dhruv, for giving me this opportunity to spread my knowledge with everyone. I will be very thankful to you.
Perfect. So, Deepak, let's begin our conversation with what is Azure.
Yes. Uh, it's very interesting topic nowadays. Everyone is discussing about the Azure, that what basically the Azure is. So let's discuss about the Azure. What is Azure? So it's a Microsoft product. Basically, in 2010, Azure was came into the market, but on that time its name was Windows Azure. But in 2014, it's rebranded to Microsoft Azure. There was a purpose to rebrand it to Windows Azure to Microsoft Azure, because on the Azure we could only use the Azure on Windows operating system. But after 2014, what we can do, we can use every operating system like Linux operating system, Mac OS, iOS, and Windows as well. So basically, if we will discuss about the Azure is a Microsoft cloud computing platform which offers services to us on very vast area. Services like cloud computing, storage, networking, database. These are the some services we can say which we will use in Azure. And these services are divided into some categories, or we can say models, which we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service also.
Okay, great. So, as you mentioned, Deepak, Azure came into picture in 2010, if
Yeah,
I'm not wrong.
yeah.
Then that gets me to a curiosity that before Azure, how things were working, what we used to do, and now why Azure?
Yeah, everyone wants to know that what we did earlier. After Azure is launching, we are doing some things on the cloud computing. But before the Azure, what we did? So suppose you have an organizations
Okay.
and you want to do work, so you have to manage your infrastructure on your end. Infrastructure, like you have to purchase your servers, you have to do networking on your end, you have to install the operating systems in the your machines or servers. So on premises system, we can say we have to manage all the things and all the services on our end, on premises things, which was very we can say costly, high costly. And when the Azure was launched, there are some benefits. We can say the things are less as comparison to on premises. Services are less. We can say comparison to the on premises. So these are the things which we are doing on the on premises things before Azure
Before
cloud.
Azure.
Yeah.
Great. So that means if I understood correctly, Azure से पहले हमें बहुत सारा हार्डवेयर मैनेज करना पड़ता था, बहुत सारे सर्वर
सर्वर
मैनेज करने
मैनेज करने
पड़ते।
पड़ते थे।
तो अब कंपनीज इन सबको मैनेज करने की जगह क्लाउड पे मूव हो गई Azure की हेल्प से, एंड
Yeah,
इंस्टेड ऑफ मैनेजिंग दिस मच हार्डवेयर दे कैन मोर फोकस ऑन इनोवेशंस नाउ।
innovations. Yes,
ग्रेट
right.
ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रेट। तो दीपक, एज्योर के अंदर अगर कोई अपनी जर्नी शुरू करना चाहता है एज अ फ्रेशर, एज अ लेमैन, तो उसका क्या स्कोप है मार्केट के अंदर, क्या डिमांड है?
Basically, Dhruv, what happens? There is a phobia in the market that Azure is very big thing. We cannot move into the Azure. No, there is nothing like that. If a person is with the IT background and he have or she have and some basic knowledge about the ID, so easily he can move to the Azure cloud. But there are some prerequisites for the, we can say, if we have to study some basic things about the Azure. What is the Azure? How we can use the Azure? What are the Azure services? So these are some things we can say. And there are some courses, like if a person want to start their career in Azure administrator, so what he can do, how he can move to the Azure administrator path. Firstly, what he will do, he will do the course regarding to the Azure fundamentals, which we have a Microsoft course of AZ900, we can say.
Okay.
uh, if you can check on the Microsoft, so you can go through it. There will be the details about AZ900, which is basic things about, we can say, fundamental things, all fundamental things about the Azure there. After that, when we will pass the exam, we will get certified with the AZ900. So we can move to the AZ104, which is our Azure administrator course. Same
Okay.
thing like you have done in the Azure 900 AG900 course, you can move, you can do in the Azure administrator part also. You can start your learning, you can schedule your exam, you can get certification. So when you will get the certification, it will be easy to get the jobs in the Azure trends. uh, there, your market will attract with you, right? So
Absolutely, absolutely. Getting a certificate from Microsoft and that to authenticated a technology on it, of course, definitely it's gonna make a difference on a resume.
yeah.
So you talked about two courses, AZ 900
Yeah,
and
agent 900 basically for fundamental things.
fundamentals of
Yeah.
Azure. Perfect. So what would be the duration for AZ 900?
Basically, agent 900 course is for 8 hours only.
8 hours only.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's great.
And if we will talk about the Azure administrator part, which is our AZ104, it's for 32 hours of course.
32 hours,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. So 900, 32 hours, 40 hours,
Yeah.
and you get certified from Microsoft.
And you can
You have
easily
to.
start your career with Azure. And
Okay.
it means when you will go through the Azure administrator part, you will manage, you will deploy all the administrator parts, like you have to create virtual machines, you have to create virtual networks, you have to manage some policies, you have to give some roles to other users also. All
Okay.
these things you can do on your Azure administrator part.
Administrate.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So now talking about other technologies. So
Yeah.
like Azure, we have competitive product AWS, GCP. So why Azure?
Yeah, basically what is happening in recently 5 years, we will discuss. So about 720 million, 22 million people are using Azure.
Oh, okay, that's a big number.
Yeah, that's a big number. And Azure provides us flexibility, scalability, means we can upgrade, or we can scale up our resources according
Okay.
to our requirement. Or if we want to scale down our resources, we can do it easily.
Okay.
Means
Okay.
there is no restrictions that you have to use only that
Okay.
number of resources there. It provides high performance, high availability, means resources are available all the time.
Okay.
So these are some things which we can say divide Azure from other multiple clouds, AWS and GCP. On other hand, if we will discuss, so Azure also provides us model like public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid model also. If we want to use some services from other cloud, then we can use it in multi-cloud. Will be like we are using multi-cloud. Some services are from the Azure, but if you want to use some services from AWS, so we can do it. So that will be helpful for all the organizations.
So it has a kind of a flexibility
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
organization, so they can manage their resources and the costing as well. If they do not just want to use Azure, along with Azure, they want to use other clouds as well. So Azure is open to work with that,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
multi-clouds.
yeah. That are
Great, Deepak. Thank you for that information. That was very insightful. That was very really so briefing that down. Azure, a Microsoft product which help us in multi-cloud computing, which help the business in the scalability, in the hybrid,
yeah.
in the flexibility, the cost
Multi-cloud
effective
also, it provides us the multi-cloud services like,
multi-cloud
yeah.
services. Great. Plus, and anyone can start their career in Azure easily with the AZ900 and AZ104 course. So thank you for connecting with us today, guys. Stay tuned for more information like this. Thank you. Have a great day.